Welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. This morning we are going to talk about, the title of our session is The Best Copywriting Course. And we'll talk more about that as soon as we do a few introductions. So, David, how would you like to start? You were first one here.
Hi, I'm Dave Flannery. I'm with Affordable Websites for Small Business here in Rock Falls, Illinois, where it was hot enough to cook an egg on the sidewalk. At least it feels that way. And we are streaming on YouTube and on the website with no problem at all.
Thank you. Right on. Welcome here and thank you for watching that. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Vivek?
Namaste. My name is Vivekanand. Literally, it means happiness and wisdom. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. I aim to bring time-tested wisdom and happiness together into your business and life by unifying, simplifying, and amplifying simple technology and tools. Wake Technology Private Limited is my company. Together, let us wake up our potential. I am in Reading, UK, England. The weather has been really nice last few days. It's today is a sunny day, and yeah, I don't know how long it will last, but
Right on. Well, it's sunny here too. But I'm sure noticing it's cool in the mornings these days. Yeah. So, Fred, how would you like to introduce yourself?
Certainly. Thank you, LowellAnn. I'm Fred Jones, the creator of Our Future Leaders, where we assist young people to gain the communication and leadership skills to become the leaders that our world needs. I'm located on Vancouver Island, a little bit north, not far, about 30 kilometers maybe or less from LowellAnn in Langford. It's currently 14 degrees centigrade, so it definitely has cooled off. And looks like it. The prediction is it's going to remain like that. Like the highs will be 18, 16 degrees, something like that for the next week. I think the highlight of my week was a 10-year-old Nathan who gave a speech at the Agra Speakers International. He was the youngest speaker at the convention over the past 4 days, ending on Sunday. He was on Saturday, and he did fantastic, because about less than a year ago, I don't even think he's been with us for a year, he wouldn't say boo, and now he gave this fantastic speech, which was amazing. So it was just wonderful to see, and he represented Canada for us from youth from Canada. But 10 years old.
Where was he from, Fred?
Victoria.
Really?
Yep.
Cool. Absolutely cool.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show what your organization is doing can really pay off.
And I think it's so good for him, because seeing where he's come from to where he is now, and just the confidence that he did was just he blew me out of the water, because he practiced so much. He was so keen to do this. I couldn't believe it. And he did it. He did it so well. It was wonderful to see. Anyway.
Oh, that's cool. Well, Alanna, you made it just in time. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I always seem to make it just in time. I come racing up the stairs, hoping they'll be able to make it in time. Hi, everybody. I'm Alanna, coming to you from Ireland. My company's ALB Digital Marketing Solutions. I write content and copy for small businesses looking to increase sales and conversions.
Right on. So we've all given a weather report. So what's yours?
Beautiful, beautiful, sunny and warm, and it's going to be really hot and sunny all week. So I'm happy about that, which kind of really means work for me though, because I have to do outside work, inside work. So hopefully I'll get to enjoy it.
When you say outside work, as in gardening?
Yeah.
Oh.
Trimming the hedges, and I have a rose bush out front that looks like it's dead because it hasn't been pruned in a long time, and I really I stink at that stuff. So
right on.
I'm not good at that at all. I do it because it needs to be done, but doesn't mean I'm good at it.
And I can tell by the look on your face that you don't particularly enjoy it either.
Not really. No. I can't even keep a cactus alive.
Oh dear.
I have a Christmas cactus that I repotted a month or so ago, and it's not reacting very well at all.
Oh, wow.
So my Christmas cactus probably won't make it to Christmas.
Well, I have a Christmas cactus right here beside me. It has bloomed twice this year.
Wow, I haven't seen a bloom on mine in about 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I must be doing something right. It's probably because I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, that's probably it too.
All right, so welcome here, Alanna.
Thank you.
I might just say a little bit about what's going on for me. I'm LowellAnn, Fuglsang. If you ever see my last name, you probably need to instructions on how to pronounce it. It's a Danish name, meaning birdsong. And here we pronounce it Fuglsang, whereas in Denmark it would be Fuglsang. So that's a little bit about my name. And speaking about gardening, I have a balcony garden that I could not live without. And I'm starting to pick ripe cherry tomatoes off the vine on my balcony garden right now. So it is coming along quite nicely, even though I was late starting this year because of that broken arm I had. So I'm catching up. So what else can I say? Well, I'm kind of proud of myself because knowing that I'm going to be out of town for 2 weeks or 10 days at the end of September, I decided to get everything organized between, I actually started 2 weeks ago. Everything organized online, everything in its place so that everything carries on even though I won't be here. And so last week, David and Vivek and I started working. Vivek is going to host and do one session, as is David. So I'm really pleased about that because part of my goal in this, doing this Success Circle is to give other people an opportunity to practice and to share what they know and what they do and all of that. So I'm really pleased about that. So it's all in place. Everything is organized. Now the big test will be when I'm down in Nova Scotia, am I going to be able to just open my phone and participate for a minute from my phone? That will be the big test. Anyway, so yes, we are getting close, and I was able to go online yesterday and download a PDF file that proves I've had both shots, and that was one thing that in order to get into those 3 provinces, I have to fill in a form and I have to be able to prove I have had the shots. So I'm getting there in that respect. So anyway, enough about that and me. So this morning I wanted to talk about this copywriting course. And I have asked David and Alanna because I know they have both done this course. And it is called the Complete Copywriting Course, Write to Sell Like a Pro. So it's about writing, but it's sort of about selling as well. And the other thing that I'm really enjoying about it is I'm observing how the course is put together. And I've picked up a lot of really good tips by observing that. So I don't know whether either one of you have looked at it from that perspective. What about you, David? Have you looked at it from that perspective, or just the writing and selling?
Just the writing and spelling or selling right now. I'm not in the mode of doing a course yet. When I get into that mode, I will be reviewing the courses that I liked and that I enjoyed doing and seeing how they did it, and kind of coming up with a way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, right now, I'm up to here with work that I got to get done, so I'm falling behind, so I got to get to my work. Yeah.
Well, I'm noticing. I think we're all feeling somewhat overwhelmed right now with all this stuff we've got to do. So I can relate to that. Before we go any further, I have to step back for a minute, because Fred was looking in his journal and shared with me yesterday that was the day that Roland Takahoka passed away. And when you look at my intro, you will always see Roland's picture as one of the circles that comes up, because at one time Roland was a regular participant in this Being Your Own CEO success circle. So I just wanted to acknowledge that we still do think about him and talk about him periodically, and thanks to you, Fred, for checking your journal and reminding me. So I did want to acknowledge that. So before we go any further, Fred, I don't know, do you know about this course? I know that you have checked out various copywriting things in the past, so you don't know about this. And Alanna, I know you said that you did this course quite some time ago. Was this the one that I remember you saying, well, I can't come because I got all this stuff, exercises that I have to do? Was that the course, or was that before that?
That was actually after.
Oh, after.
Yeah. So I took this course probably maybe 2 years ago. Can't remember, maybe 3. And then I started, I can't remember the name of the other one, that had a Tuesday tutorial that I would jump in on. And it was nice because you could ask questions. It was only a half an hour long. It was a 20-minute exercise on writing. Mm-hmm. It's pretty high pressure because you only had 20 minutes and I take a lot longer to do my writing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it wasn't that one. And I haven't been involved in that one in a while. I don't know that they're doing any more of those Tuesday tutorials.
Right on. Okay, so but you have done this course. So
I did do this. I started off with this course.
Yeah. Well, and I have to admit I have not finished the course as yet. I'm guessing I'm about halfway through. But I've already was just so impressed. And So as I was I did several parts of the course this past week, just to help me remember, everything. And so as I was participating, I started writing down things that stood out for me. And so one of the things that you should know is, first of all, is that I got this course on Udemy, and it is not free. And if you already belong to Udemy, you probably will pay, what was it, David? Something like $157 or something. And David said to me, well, if you use another email, you can go in there and be a new member, and they always give you a discount on the first course that you take. So I did that, and so I ended up getting this course for $33. However, I have to say, having gone through it as far as I have, I would say it is totally worth $157. Totally worth that. Now, of course, that's US dollars, and for Canada, that means quite a few more dollars than 157. So that's the first thing I really wanted to let everybody know, that from where I sit, it is well worth the bucks. Would you two agree to that? Agree with that?
I would. I use it for doing headlines and call to actions. Quite often, I'll go back to and somewhat meta call to actions are also meta descriptions, and I use it for meta description and new call to actions and headlines. And it helps me. It reminds me of what you're trying to do, and the action words and all of that, and it makes it so that it makes it easier for me to do those. You get them done in a timely manner.
Yeah, right.
Opposed to wrestling with them for.
Yeah. Would you say it's worth $157, Alanna?
Oh my God, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a very good instructor, and she's just I found her to be very good at what she does. I really enjoyed her videos, and I just thought the coursework was great.
Yeah. Well, and so I do need to let everybody know her name is Tamsen Henderson. Tamsen Henderson. And she does have a website, and her website is called Copy Kooks Club. And copy with a C, Kooks with a K, Club. Copy Kooks Club. So you can find and see quite a bit about her if you go to her website. Now, there's a couple of other things I would like to share. First of all, when you and I don't know, this may be the way Udemy works, but what I really like about the way it's set up, you can. It only allows you to look at things as you go. You can't skip ahead and do things. And so you have to finish one thing before you go on to the next thing. The other thing that is really neat is that with a lot of her modules, there will be a little button there that says resource. And that allows you to download something like a template, or I think there's sort of an overview of everything that's in that module. So I have been able to save all those things. I created a folder in my Google Drive, and I have been able to save all of those things into that folder on Google Drive. So I really like that you can download the resource as you go. So, and again, here I am, I'm focusing on the way the course is put together, but I'm finding it's put together in a really good way. Yeah. And so in each module, there is a video where she introduces it, talks about what you want to do, shows you screenshots of various things, and then she'll give you an exercise. And what is it she calls her exercises? She has a name for her exercises. Now, it's called a copy mission. I don't know why she calls it a copy mission, but so whatever it is that she's teaching, she gives you kind of an example of what you're trying to do. And then she will maybe put something up on the screen and say, I'd like you to rewrite that with this goal in mind. And so, and then she'll instruct you, pause the video right now and do that. And so I have been doing that. I just made up my mind. I'm not going to skip through all this stuff. You could, in that case, you could skip through it if you wanted to. But I've realized that you're not going to get as much out of the course if you do that. So I'm doing that. I stop and pause the video and carry on. And I don't necessarily keep what I wrote, but I write down, and then she goes on and shows her example, and I'm so impressed. She's such a good writer. But I also have to say that I'm noticing that I'm getting better at it. So that's a little bit more about how the course progresses. Now, so before I go on any further, would either of you like to share something that stood out for you in the course? Because I've got tons of notes here, but I want to give you the opportunity to kind of share what you were impressed with.
I'm waiting to see if Dave's going to talk first. I didn't want to interrupt him.
I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of trying to. I put the link into the YouTube chat, but Javita's not seeing it, and I'm trying to figure out if it.
I see something in our chat that says it's for 1979 pounds.
Oh.
Less than 20 UK pounds. That's from Vivek.
Yeah.
But what
I see the URL I put in, did you not?
I see the URL for the Copy Kooks Club.
I was trying to see if Vivek saw the chat, the YouTube chat, and see if it's in there.
Yeah. So the other thing is, I didn't know Javita was out there. So welcome, Javita. I'm glad you're here. So carry on, David. Alanna, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that I found about the course and copywriting in general is there's so many moving parts, and that a lot of times people think they know their audience, but until you sit down and start doing the writing, you don't realize how targeted you actually have to be in your writing, and how precise you have to be in who you're talking to.
Right.
So that's what I really liked about that, because it helped me focus more on how I'm writing, not what I'm writing.
Aha. Right. Okay, so I acknowledge, Nathan, we are past the introductions now, so I just acknowledge that you're here. So I will share a few more things, because I did write a bunch of things. So one of the other things that stood out for me is she's very conversational in her writing. And in her, well, here's the other thing. While taking the course, she sends out a daily short emails that have huge amounts of humor in them. I just get a chuckle out of them every time I get one. And usually the email is it contains one idea, and lots of spaces between everything in the emails that you get. And of course, she's got it set up so that your name shows up frequently. So that was the first thing that like, I might have only taken a really small section of the course when I started getting these emails that just made me laugh. And they were so lighthearted, and she uses slang, and she swears a bit. She later on in the course, she talks about how, I think it's in the section where she's talking about persona and who you're speaking to when you're writing. And she said she has a picture of her best girlfriend. She visualizes herself talking to her best girlfriend when she's writing. And you can tell that. You can tell by how conversational it is, and a lot of the language that she uses, etc. Now, I was never sure where she is. I think she's in the UK, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Then the other thing that I noticed was, as time goes on, she in her emails, she offers additional mini courses. So in one of her emails, there were 3 courses offered: how to learn a new skill. That was a freebie, I think. Think like a successful copywriter might have been a freebie. And then juicy proposals, and that one is not free. And and here's the other learning for me from a course presentation perspective, is that she, like, if for some things, if she's offering a template, she charges you for it, because you're going to use it over and over. And as I was thinking about our courses that we're doing, when offering templates, we should charge for them. So I really found that interesting, and the way she has been presenting free things and things for money.
When she sells the course, instead of it being for free, she gives the templates free. When she's giving a free course, and she gives a template, she makes you pay for the template.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
So
and that's fair enough, I think.
Yeah. I agree with that.
The other thing, I mean, in line with her humor, the other thing that I find really fun, she shares a lot of visuals out of social media posts and testimonials. And I mean, again, her sense of humor is amazing. Like, she'll she'll show you something, and it's somebody do in the extreme, like it's an overstatement with humor. So I find those are really fun. And she also, in her email, she sends links to things in LinkedIn. So obviously she's making use of LinkedIn. Yes, and I already mentioned the fact that the emails are lots of spaces in them. So so the ideas stand alone and jump out at you. Now, now here's here's an item that somewhere back in at the beginning, and I remember actually Nathan, I think you shared this concept a long time ago about using the kind of language that you use. Seductive words. She talks about using seductive words. And so in one of her templates is or one of her resources is a whole, probably 2 pages of what she calls seductive words. So I wasn't new to the idea, since Nathan had shared it with us a long time ago, but anyway, I've written a few of the expressions that she uses. The treadmill to despair. She talks about burnout and discouragement, and poof, just like that. Bottom feeder jobs. No need to flagellate yourself. Spend more time on sofa forts with the kids or walking the dog at the beach. Enjoy the fruits of your hard work. Keeps you from shooting yourself in the foot. Anyway, I think I have some more language over here. If you live a laptop lifestyle, you'll be dancing like a lunatic. Well, we're not really looking at your COVID. So that gives you a flavor of you know, the I mean, it's the kind of language you would use if you were talking to your best girlfriend, right? So but somewhere along the way, I think it was following that, the one email where she was promoting the juicy proposals, I got an email that's asking why didn't I buy? And I had 3 choices. Was it something I said? Was it something in the course content? Or the pricing? And then there was a little box that allowed you to kind of say anything else that you wanted to add. And of course, that dropped in the middle of a week I had that was so busy I had no extra time to even look at it. So basically I was able to say that. It wasn't any one of these things. I just, it fell in my lap at an inopportune time. So, but I thought, now, I'm not sure I've ever seen anybody offer something for you to buy and then go back and ask you why you didn't buy it. I thought that was interesting. So, and what's the other thing? She puts a lot of really good advice in her emails as well as in the course. An example would be, this is not a get-rich-quick situation. what you really need to do is just focus on the craft, on getting better, slowly and steadily. And I think we all know that from our other experiences. And then she makes recommendations for other things. Some recommendations. She talked about a foxy freelancer. I think that was somebody else. I don't think it was her. Then she recommended something about learning how to use Trello in terms of setting up your plan. And she does have a private group on Facebook. And she uses a lot of pitches and things. She's using Google products and or Dropbox. Yeah. So what else can I tell you? Yeah. She says pitch to a real person rather than that ideal client. Even though she walks you through in one of her modules about setting up a persona, she did talk about visualizing her best friend. Another good piece of advice was, if you don't know something, own it. Skills are learned and enthusiasm regularly beats experience. Then she moved into a section, and I don't know whether she's doing it or whether she's linking up with somebody else, but she talks about writing case studies as being a great place to earn a living online. Has anybody stumbled on anything related to that online?
No? It sounds to me like she's updated her course since I took it, because I'm just actually looking through my notes I took on that course, and there's nothing in here on case studies, and I don't receive any emails from her.
Really?
So yeah. So I think she's updated the course, and she's probably changed a few things around. So yeah.
Really? Now that's interesting to know. I don't know if anybody here knows anything about Udemy, but but a lot of what I'm quoting has come through in the daily emails that I get. David?
On the case study, that was very interesting to me. I've not run across it in my website building. It's mainly reason is because I'm dealing with small mom and pop people as opposed to corporations. If I was doing corporations, it would be a lot more likely. That's almost good grammar. So anyway, but it's not something that's used in the lower end of things. I may need to bring that back and do that, because it's an interesting way to showcase a company.
Yeah. So that's a piece I just wrote it down, and I've noticed it, and I have saved all of her emails that I've received. I've put a label on them so that I can go back and look at them, because I can visualize myself wanting to go back and review. So that's basically what you're saying too, David, that there's some materials in here that you will want to go back and review.
Well, what I do is I have a bookmark that I've got that frequently used is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And I got a folder for her, and I just go back and, okay, I got to do a headline. I go back and click on the shortcut to the headline, sign in. If it doesn't sign me in, and away I go. So I also need to apologize. I was in the wrong account, and it was not giving me permission to put the URLs in. I am now in the correct account for YouTube, and now I'm able to put the
Really?
URLs in. Yes, I didn't realize it until Javita and I were talking, and she was not seeing the URLs, and I was diligently putting them in, and they weren't coming through because I was using my G Suite account as opposed to my Gmail account, because you've got me set up as the second person on the Gmail account as opposed to the administrator. Yeah.
Well, maybe you and I will have to go back and get that organized so that it works for you automatically.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
Yeah. So I guess the other thing that I wanted to say about as far as I've been able to progress is some of her information is kind of not new exactly, but presented in a very simplified, easy way to follow and to understand. I don't mean she's simplifying things. She just makes it easy, I guess is the best way to say. Sometimes when you accuse somebody of simplifying, maybe you could be misunderstood as oversimplifying, and I don't react that way to what she's doing. But there's all sorts of ways, and each module gives you how to set this up, how to plan. It's like, as you said, Alanna, all these moving parts. And the fact that she offers all these resources to help you sort of manage all those moving parts is really, really, really useful. So I'm right at the point where she's talking about the secret of creating a winning plan. Set a clear goal, 3-point process to keep you on track, and shape your copy. So then there's a little template so that you can use it to help yourself. And she talks about being direct, using active language, short, simple, and strong. Be interesting, she says. Join how and boost productivity. Learn more about brains. Like she's talking about the calls to action, how important it is to have the call to action. Using power words. Hint at urgency. Don't miss out. Sign up before midnight. Oh, that was one thing. David, you and I sort of chatted about that, and I think that was in there. One of the things we really like about her is at the point where you think she's going to go and point you to appealing to somebody's fear, she never goes there. So the closest she'll ever say is hint at something with urgency, rather than making people fearful. Yeah, that was an ethical piece about her that I really, really care for. Yeah.
And that was also the main reason I promote her course, is that it's not fear marketing. Ray Edwards has a book out, and I've read it, and he does the fear marketing, and it's okay, and used in proper context in certain areas. I have a locksmith website, which people are in fear when they're looking at this website because they're locked out
Right.
or something along that line. So using that in a humorous way, which I've done, is
Yeah.
does very well.
Yeah.
But the I use that very little. I like using the more positive marketing that
Yeah.
she's doing.
Well, and you're absolutely right. When you know that you've locked yourself out, the fear hits you like in the pit of your stomach. It happened to me yesterday. I locked my keys in the laundry room.
Oh boy.
However, I was out in the hallway thinking, now, what am I going to do about this? When somebody walked by and I said, "Do you live here?" He said, "Yes," because I'd never seen him before. I said, "Do you happen to have your keys in your pocket?" So he was able to open the door. But let me tell you, I was in a blind panic. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So when like I said, it seems appropriate for that type of deal. And like I said, I made it humorous. I didn't make it
Yes.
totally fear marketing, but I mean it's about being locked out and what am I going to do now? And He-Man comes and saves the day.
Yeah.
Almost a Marvel. It's almost a Marvel movie.
Oh, right on. So now, we've been doing all the talk, or I've been doing all the talking. Anybody have any questions or comments or observations they would like to share? We are, about 15 minutes away from the top of the hour, almost. Yeah. Anything come to mind? Well, if not, we will close early and have a discussion. Well, I should be sharing what we're going to talk about next time. We have noticed that Zoom has a lot of apps, and I think Vivek, you went in and found one that you thought might be useful, and there's a whole bunch of others. So we thought maybe we should go in and see if we could look at some of those apps and try to determine what they do and what they're useful for. So that's basically what next time, what we'll talk about next time. And in the meantime, I want to remind you all that it's important to do what you love with passion. Oh, Fred, would you like to do a last word?
Sure, why not?
Nothing like changing the order in which we're doing everything.
Well, I found it very interesting because obviously, what's her name? Tamsen is her name?
Yeah.
Is a very good communicator.
Oh, huge. Yeah.
And that personality, even though I've never heard of her before, but what your description was excellent about her humor and the way she connects with everybody in the course. She's a very good communicator, and that's what makes her so successful. And everybody who's done her course is saying good things about her. And it's not that she's smarter or better in other ways, but her communication skills are probably exemplary. And if you recall, one time I spoke about MASH-D, message, audience, stories, humor, and distractions. That was how to communicate something when we're communicating.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of that resonates with me. I think she has case studies, which are the stories. Humor is obvious. She uses that. And she talks like it's conversational, which is really, really key when you are communicating. You're talking So all of the elements of good communicator you've been talking about that when you explain what she's done.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an example again how important communications is, not only verbal but written.
Mm-hmm.
So this really shows. Here's a lady who knows how to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
But there's no reason why the rest of us can't learn how to communicate.
It's the biggest thing in the world is if we could just communicate in a appropriate manner, the world would be totally different.
Yeah.
So it's a great skill to learn, and it's you can never, I think, communicate to everyone because they all have their own goggles on, but you do your best to get to a high percentage of them, and the better you are, the higher percentage you can get the message across. So yeah, it's all about communication is what I heard. So well done. I enjoyed it. Certainly you gave a good sales job for her and her course because she's a great communicator.
Well, and but I also, as I'm thinking back over the things I've said, I mean, a lot of the things I've noticed really relate to course presentation as well. Because it just jumped out. I mean, those things just jumped out at me. Yeah. So, yeah, Alanna.
Yeah, one of the things that I happen to recall while you were talking is that she presents things in a very easy to digest way. And there's no, she takes you through everything step by step. So there, like you were talking about fear before, there's really no fear involved. She breaks everything down really well so that there's really nothing to be afraid of when you're going through this process of learning how to be a copywriter. So that's what I really appreciated about her. She's very relaxed in her videos, and you can tell she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, you sure can. Yeah. Okay, I am having got two last words. I will say see you next week, and I will do an Alt 4.